Okay, so Improbability Fighter by Wendel. Go ahead and drop the link in the chat there. And I'll start by reading off the, it's just start, enter, D-pad, arrow keys, and then A to fire. Oh, also, I guess that seems like I could play with a controller. Let me see if I can try that out. This NES game, you pilot the first space fighter ship equipped with an improbability drive. If that's anything like the infinite probability drive from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I don't know if I could play with a controller, but let's find out. Interesting. So there actually is a Famicom ROM of this. That's really neat. All right. So I'll go ahead and get started. Made for Ludum Dare theme, coded in C and assembly. Graphics made with NEXXT, unreleased fork of NESST. Music and sounds made with FamiTracker. Nice. All right, so let's give this a try here. Yeah, I know this is really neat if there's an actual NES ROM of this that you could... Okay. All right, press start. Does it work with controller? Maybe not. Okay, that's fine. Set the controller aside for now. And we had start is enter, A is fire. No, sorry. F is fire, and D-pad is arrow keys. That's interesting. I wonder why it's F. And what are these? Whoa. Port 1 controller, zapper, video, audio, NTSC PAL. Wow, there's a lot you can adjust here. How about this? What does this one do? Oh, that's neat. Whoop. I think I just reset the game. Okay, cool. Press start, which is enter. Oh my gosh. Let's fire back at this guy. Oh, there is an object limit on this. And now there's two of them. Oh my goodness. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm a Tetris piece now. So chaos seems to be increasing over time. And I've become... Okay, I'm back to being a ship. Whoa. I see the follow, but I've just got to dodge fire for a second. Or rather, I heard follow. Oh my gosh, this... Okay. I managed to transform into a tree, and I shoot apples. Okay, game on. Now I'm a game over. Okay. Yikes, that's tough. Pop Rocks, thank you so much for the follow. How do I... Okay, press start, I guess. Wow. Okay, this time I've tried not to die quite so quickly. So... Guess between attempts I will try... Whoa. Okay, so now I'm a Tetris piece, which is really neat. It's so slow to move as a Tetris piece because you can't just like hold the button down. You have to actually like keep pressing the button. Okay, so now I'm a tree and I shoot anti-grav apples just one at a time. I hope these are maybe more powerful. Okay, there's so many objects on screen that it's kind of lagging a bit now, but that's kind of fine because the slowdown actually helps me to get past things. I've only been hit twice, which is kind of crazy. Okay. Oh, I'm a tree again. And I don't think the tree's apples are particularly powerful, so it's kind of slow going. Okay, but I'm turning back into the ship. That's good. Because the ship actually has a better rate of fire. Okay. Oh, and now there's a boss, I think. Just gotta keep mashing that fire key. Oh boy, now we got more of them. Um, yeah, there's no way that I'm going to be able to read responses and play at the same time. I wonder if there's anything else. I feel like the Tetris block and the tree and the ship are like the only things you can turn into right now. I wonder if there's anything else that I can still become. Well, it looks like it's just those three. Okay, if and when I inevitably die next, I will take the opportunity to read some of the replies that we're getting from Wendel right now. Okay, we've only got 2 health left, so this is not long for this world. Maybe I can at least clear this wave. Hey, I win! I wonder if it's the end of the game. Might just be. Alright, so Wendell is responding. Can you talk a little bit about your background and your role in this project? I'm a software developer and have been making games as a hobby. I've started learning NES dev since last year, and I've been using game jams as an opportunity to practice. In this project, I've done almost everything except for standard libraries for RNG and stuff. Um, what was the inspiration behind this game? My thought was went to the infinite probability drive from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay, I kind of guessed that. I just imagined what if a ship from your typical shoot 'em up were equipped with it. I actually had a lot of different ideas since the theme was released, but they weren't practical for me to implement on the NES. A game where one stacks horses based on a pun with unstable. I think a lot of people had the unstable pun in mind. Okay, so let's. I guess what makes the most sense here, because I can try giving the game another play. It is a little odd that F is your key. I do have to say that, like, dodging that very first enemy shot, like, you're almost guaranteed to take a hit from that one there. It's a really interesting restriction, though, to try to make a game that would actually run on the NES. The tree is kind of a pain to play as, though, because its rate of fire is so slow. I would definitely have loved to see it if each sort of character that you become actually influences the game in a unique and interesting way and has a interesting play style. Whereas it just feels like anything but the ship is a strict downgrade from your regular controls. Like if there's anything special about the tree and its apples, yeah, I just died. And it doesn't seem like you become the Tetris block very often. So I'm not sure why that is exactly. The tree is somehow one of the most likely things to become, and yet, because I guess the other thing about the Tetris piece actually feels interesting because you actually have to move differently. Like you are no longer. Oh yeah, I'm back to the ship. Yeah, it never wants to turn me into the Tetris piece anymore. And here we get the screen with the crazy slowdown, which I actually kind of need to count on because otherwise there's way too much to dodge here. Okay, it turned right into a game over. Yeah, this screen with there's very few opportunities to dodge all the bullets that are coming at you here. Yeah, so I would love to see more transformations that are like the Tetris piece, where it actually changes the game. And I think the Tetris piece actually fires a fourth shot because when you're the ship, you only seem to be able to fire three. And then the tree, I mean, it's just one shot that doesn't even seem to do any more damage. It just doesn't seem very powerful. So I'm not sure exactly what other sort of classic NES characters you could have transformed the ship into, but um, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of potential for your character transforming into other things. Um, but as it happens, the enemy patterns that you're fighting against, um, it takes a really long time until you start to see new enemies, and I don't even know if it's possible to load more than one enemy into the project memory at a time, given the NES limitation. I think it would have been really neat to see some combinations of this ship type and the other one. Oh, sorry. Okay, so development process was basically one thought about how I wanted the game to work, imagined a wave of enemies, and how I managed the bullets. Then I've drawn some placeholder graphics so I can play with them two blocky ships and one bullet type. Coded a basic movement for the ship with configurable speed, currently 1.5 pixels per frame. Then the enemy management, and finally the bullet management. When the deadline was approaching, 24 hours later on Monday, I started running to make everything else: actual graphics, a second type of enemy, Tetris piece, compose a short song, and some sound effects. Yes, that absolutely does answer the question. Okay, so I'll give it another try, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm glad I was able to at least beat the game once. Oh man, and I would have loved if spacebar was the shoot key. It's not a big deal. Like pressing F is not the most inconvenient, but spacebar would be nice. Okay, here's the Tetris piece. Eh. Like, don't get me wrong, the Tetris piece is very hard to play as, but at least you have the ability to shoot more often. Oh, we're slowing down so badly. So about what I'm saying about different enemies, actually coded support for multiple enemy types and bullet patterns per screen. Code mostly has performance issues because it has to support all of that. Okay, so it is sort of technically possible to play with multiple characters on screen at a time, but unfortunately, not a whole. Maybe not the. Wasn't possible to implement it within the time frame of the jam. Okay, so I don't know if Wendell, you don't have to necessarily answer the question about a useful shortcut or a clever hack unless you really want to. I don't know how many others are developing using this particular engine. But yeah, you know what? I am still curious, like how it all works exactly. So let's see. Is there any more information on the page itself? That's funny. We just get the occasional blip of music coming over from the other. So it seems like whenever it's not the active tab, it is still playing the music, but just not in a very loud volume. Um, yeah, I didn't have time to implement all the different enemies because I only got the idea on Sunday afternoon. Yeah, wow. So this was made in a very limited time frame. If you click this, oh, here, what is the control? Oh, you can rebind, maybe? You can even load states and such. That's crazy. Um, so input, wow, there's a lot going on here. So if I set A, oh, this is a different controller. Okay, so A on controller is set to space. There we go. Okay, so I can rebind it. Nice. So you just have to click this little menu option in the top corner, turning music on and off. Oh, there's even a full screen. Okay, wow. So this is using EMFCEUX, is a web port of the FCE UX NES emulator. To play a game, select it from the stack on the right and add more games by dropping them on the window. Interesting. Remove a game by clicking it. Okay. Inputs can be customized, but these are the defaults for some reason. Huh. Settings, reveal settings by clicking the pixelated triangle on the left. There are video and system settings, for example, brightness, sharpness, etc. Okay. Low frame rate, disable CRTV emulation. Also try full screen mode. Gameplay's too fast or slow. Wow, you can switch between Palm and VSC. Other issues, try another browser. I'm running Firefox and it seems to be going just fine. Touch is not supported. And that's, yeah, I mean, that's pretty demanding. Contact and contribution, neat. Other information, cool, yeah. All right, well, that definitely gives a little bit more information about how the emulator works, and you can remap it. And I could even apparently save and load states to sort of span my way through the game, save scum my way through the game. But yeah, let's full screen. Yeah, so click this little thing, then click this. Now full screen. And then we should be able to use space for this. There we go, that's cool. Okay. We also just got a response. Okay, so number 5, I think I'll at least make a post-jam version. I'd like to fix the performance issues, like the screen with 4 enemies, where it gets really slow. Balancing issues, maybe one or other forms, more enemies, some starts on the background, some stars in the background. Yeah, I think a little bit of extra decoration would be nice. Oh, I turned into the Tetris piece for just a few short seconds there, and I wasn't looking at the screen. And then we turn into game over. But yeah, that is still super cool that you can actually run this in theory on an NES. I don't know the process of actually getting it to run on real NES hardware. I imagine that's much more complicated. But any NES emulator should be able to. Sorry. Any NES emulator should be able to run it, with the recommendation being Mesa. So let's go ahead and drop the link to that in chat. And yeah, I guess we'll. Oh, yes, we do want to leave, and yeah, we'll just finish off the last of the questions here. So, where can people find you on social media? Do you have any other projects you'd like to plug? Wendell, just go ahead and drop whatever links you'd like directly into the chat. But yeah, please do mention any other projects that you are interested in. And just while we wait for your final response, I'm going to quickly plug our own project that was made for the Ludum Dare Jam, and that is Candle Coffee Courier. This was made in GameMaker Studio 2. I did the level design, character controller, and the menus that you're looking at right now. And you can give the game a try. It is a rather challenging platformer. You've got the ability to wall jump, and it's not much more complicated than that, but there we go. If you are into punishingly difficult platformers, you can give this one a try. I didn't have the most opportunity to play test the level, so I would say things are pretty difficult. But here we go. I'm actually made it to the end of the game. This is the Seismobot that you are trying to deliver coffee to. And I'm not going to spoil what happens exactly when you actually get to the end here. Okay, so we've got a link to Twitter from Wendell here. And then itch.io as well. I will make sure to repost those links both in chat there. And yeah, thank you so much, Wendell, for answering my questions and for submitting Improbability Fighter. It's definitely a really neat experiment, and congratulations on getting it all built out. If you only had the idea as of Sunday afternoon, that's a lot to get done in a very short amount of time. Okay.